I would like to suggest that there are highly significant potential health issues with respect to the existing structure to data underpinning our information display systems that we must not ignore. We are increasingly living within the virtual space of our information display systems. We're also starting this immersion process earlier in our lives. Specialist independent patent analysis undertaken in the US identifies vision space as a paradigm-shifting breakthrough with over 200 commercial applications spreading across 12 industries. As a new form of illusionary space, its advantages with respect to the communication of information, both in terms of content messaging and inefficiencies in delivery, will ultimately ensure that it supersedes the data structures currently in use. Vision space identifies that picture space, which includes photographic media, does not resemble the data structure's operational and phenomenal field. The contribution of one vital dataset making up 90% of phenomenal field is entirely absent. Vision is non-photographically rendered. What would the likely consequences be of over-immersion in a deficient, non-naturalistic, artificial virtual reality? If the influence of these non-perceptually structured devices stretch across all industries, permeating every aspect of our lives and the way we communicate with each other, there should be some very generic, negative repercussions occurring that are currently without explanation. There would be repercussions playing out at a cultural level across the world, to which we would be almost blind, and even in some denial of. Where some perceptually intuitive individuals may be picking up the symptoms and even proposing some of the right linkages, we would expect to find the approach that gave rise to the current system being unable to respond to those indicators. The parameters of the existing system will inevitably find nothing in support of and actively resist the proposition that anything is amiss. The field structure that we generate throughout phenomenal field factors us into our visually perceived world. It's primarily through the field structure that we manifest spatial awareness and orientate ourselves with respect to the environment. We immerse ourselves, see ourselves in relation to other objects, and understand how others are seeing us. The field structure contextualizes the world for us. It's probably highly involved in our ability to empathize with others. This rendering system provides us with our sense of being within the world, of belonging within it. It is broadly acknowledged that there's a formative period in the development of a child's visual system known as the critical period, and it extends into teenage years. This is where the visual system and consequently our perceptual structure is set. We learn how to see, we learn how to hear. Perceptual structure is the mechanism through which we engage with the world, our environment, and others. It's the system through which we form our relationship with the real. Extensive exposure to the impoverished input of our virtual reality system is likely to adversely affect this development, leading to the creation of atypical perceptual structures that beyond the critical period may be impossible to rectify. Imagine a world where the implicit take on reality has been stripped out. Are we describing the autistic condition? Reflecting over-reliance on the explicit system that decontextualizes objective form. If anyone's interested in the broader cultural implications of us living without the implicit take on reality, then I can recommend the book by Ian McGilchrist, The Master and His Emissary. The warning signs are manifesting all around us. The vision space patent analysis threw up these potential linkages without me seeding them. They suggest themselves. Some autism specialists also relate to this potential, while others need the proof before actively considering the linkage, i.e., proof required prior to the technology enabling the proof to manifest. Until we have an academic architecture for vision space to enable the statistics to emerge, then proof of the connection will inevitably be very difficult to establish. Every electronics company in the world needs to seriously consider the implications of the structure of information display operational within their devices and the implications with respect to human health. The best way of doing this is to fund PAC and the Vision Space project as a matter of urgency. It's ironic, of course, that we have developed a saying to aid behavioural guidance that incorporates the cause of the problem. getting things in perspective.